you with that?
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special guest. But first and foremost, we have myself, Alfonso, and we got your boy,
RT.
And we all can't argue with that. And we got our boy, Cole.
Special guest. Welcome.
Cole, what's going on? One more time.
Welcome,
ladies and gentlemen. You are in for a special treat today. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. We have Antonio Brown.
We got Antonio Brown talk. We got Kyler Murray talk. Is Zeke coming back? Most importantly, Lakers talk.
Ooh.
The news you can use. Got it coming up.
Really?
But first, we have a special announcement. For those of you who are participating in the Fantasy Football League, big news coming up. Brandon Busby has blessed us. He will be giving out 2 jerseys, one for each winner of each of the Fantasy Football Leagues. Jersey of your choice if you win. Shout out to him and his site, Champions Fate with PHATE. Check it out. Jerseys. Check it out.
Yes, sir. And as well, shout out to Chucktown Bar and Grill. What's the address?
2467 Savannah Highway. Check them out.
Yes, sir. So what we breaking it open with, man?
Man, first we gotta get right down to it, man.
Mm-hmm. Talked
about it. I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time, man. Mr. Antonio Brown. Mm-hmm. Always something, man. If it's not his he's arriving to camp in a hot air balloon. His feet look like they're falling off. The skin falling off his feet. Now we got a helmet issue.
Yeah.
And this time he says, you know what, if I can't have it my way, then I'm not going to play it all. Tell me, man, tell me that this is just joke. Tell me he's just joking and that, this is just a phase.
Well, one thing I can say is that John Gruden was entertained by it. Lightly entertained.
Lightly entertained, okay.
Because what John Gruden did was, you ever ask your mama for something?
Yeah.
Or you ask your dad for something and your dad doesn't want to give it to you?
Yeah.
But what's your dad say?
Go ask your mama.
Right?
Go ask your mama.
That's exactly what Gruden did.
Yeah.
Gruden said, hey, we're supporting. Hey, if your mama say yeah, then I got you.
Right.
If the NFL say yeah, then you can wear whatever helmet you want.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what he did.
Right.
But fast forward a few days, and he gets a helmet, and then he goes to practice. Then he leaves practice. Then he gets the helmet approved and has an approved helmet, and then he comes to practice and practices as normal.
He's
extra,
man.
Listen, so, you know what? This is going to be. I'm not saying this isn't. I'm not going to go. I don't want to go here, but this is the same reason why the old man upstairs is going to be like, that's why we don't get him guaranteed money right now.
Right, exactly. This foolishness on air balloon.
Exactly.
Foolishness, all of that.
Yeah, man.
What
you think about it?
I mean, the helmet is what it is. The feet is what it is. But I do think at the end of the day, he's making himself like a scapegoat. Because if you look at the Raiders' schedule, they gonna start off pretty bad. They should start off pretty bad, like 0-5 maybe, 0-7 even potentially.
Good Lord, that's a lot of losses.
Right. So you come out and doing all that losing, even though, as we all know, the Raiders, they not supposed to be good anyway.
Exactly.
But Mr. Big Chest, he's going to take all the blame because all this promotion in the offseason.
Despite that fact that Richie Incognito's there, and Darren Carr's perfect. They don't attribute any of the cause.
They built for Hard Knocks though.
Exactly.
Oh yes.
But being real with you, would you have rather seen Raiders on Hard Knocks or the Browns this year on Hard Knocks?
I mean, the Browns was just on there though.
But I'm saying though, like this year, like. That would be clutch to see it all in.
I don't know, but I kind of like, because Gruden's one of those people, when the cameras are on, he likes when the cameras are on.
Exactly.
He plays his own character when the lights are bright. So it's one of those things. So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Raiders already are having second thoughts about trading for Brown? Or are they like, yeah, we knew we were getting this, but we about to get the 120 catches, 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns.
I'll let you answer that question, but I want to tell you, I got some Raider faithfuls that work with me.
Okay.
And they said that they're still confident, and they said AB is going to take all of the brunt and he's going to do something with it, basically. You know what I mean? They're basically still confident. Shout out to Margaret, shout out to Joey. Y'all are still confident. I am not. I was never confident as well. I wasn't confident from the jump because I was one of those people. That said,
yeah, that was my ultimate deal breaker.
cut him. I don't care how much money in the books.
Gone.
Cut him. Oh, there's not that much money in the books. Cut him then.
Gone.
But they
Gone.
didn't. And
Gone.
that made Mike Tomlin lose so much respect.
So
man.
much respect.
He was the most respected coach in perhaps ever until he tripped up that, or trying to trip that.
Yeah.
And man,
for a W.
Yeah, exactly. hey, just win, baby.
Sell your soul, man. I swear.
But so back to the question he was about to ask you before I rudely interrupted.
We all good.
What do you think, man?
I don't think they regret it. I do think they didn't realize how much of a diva he was.
Right.
Exactly.
You never know until
John
you
Gruden
go
was
through
like,
that.
I had Keyshawn.
Right.
I'll be okay. True. But ain't nothing like AB, man.
Nothing.
Oh,
man, hard air balloon, man. And what do you think about the feet? Do you think this is just a little conspiracy theory in the back of my head. Do you think there's a possibility that it could have been on purpose? No. Like he been like, hey man, I researched this and this is what happened to your feet. It don't hurt that bad.
I don't think so.
That's
too much of a risk.
Do I think an athlete would injure their feet on purpose?
No, I'm playing with my back of my head. Hey man, crazy stuff go through my head. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, his feet look so bad though, man.
Yeah.
Oh no,
a blister on top of a blister, on top of a big old blister.
Oh no, that looks painful, man. That looks painful, man. So, Fonz, I have a question for you. Gruden.
Yeah.
So
10-year man plan.
10-year plan, Vegas.
Here you go.
Yeah, here you go.
And we were supposed to do. Here's Richie Cardino.
Richie, little Fontes. Got it. Let me ask you this. So how do you
Nathan Peterman?
How do you see
Peterman.
By the way, he had a 50-yard run the other day in the preseason.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. This is beyond me.
I had no
right.
He's a running back.
Right.
You got a little bit of feet, or you got feet enough to outrun second string. You know what I mean? So hey, that's feet enough. You know what I mean? That's about 4'6". You know what I mean? So hey.
So Gruden and Brown doesn't seem like the perfect marriage or match made in heaven. So how do you foresee this marriage working out, or how long do you see it working out? You think it's just, first question, is Brown going to last through this first season?
That's exactly what I was thinking. They say that marriage, I don't know anything about marriage, so don't pay attention to me when I say this. But however, just play. But whatever. No, I'm not playing. But anyway, they say marriage, the first few months are the hardest to get through.
No.
They say the first month is a honeymoon phase, and after that is the hardest time. If you can make it through the first year, then you can make it through anything. That's how I feel about this scenario.
By the way, this is the honeymoon stage, and he's acting up.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on honeymoon! We just got here! We just got here!
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, we just got here. But yeah, so you think they're gonna last through this first year?
No, I didn't say I think.
Oh, okay.
No. I just don't know. But what I'm saying is, if they can last through this year, if they can make it here, they can make it anywhere. Anyway, yeah. Okay. But I'm saying that I don't think he's going to make it. They're going to lose a lot of money, but he's not going to make it. They're going to lose $30 million. They're going to pay him $30 million just to come to training camp in a hot air balloon and practice and maybe do a couple reps, and then hey, I came, give me my money. I know y'all don't want me, but give me my money. That's how I'm thinking. What do you think?
That's why I think he's going to be there. Because that's too much of a dead salary hit for a team that's rebuilding. I think they'll just try to make it work.
And John Gruden, that proves that, hey, you don't know what you're talking about as much. You don't,
right.
Those shows, the ESPN shows, ESPN shows, this is the NFL, and you're not effective.
Yeah, you made that big move. I mean, you traded Khalil Mack. Let's see what Cleveland Farrell becomes. You traded
Cooper.
You got rid of Cooper.
Yeah,
you did, and Cooper as a Cowboy, we love the trade.
Exactly.
We'll take it every day.
Thanks a lot, right?
And then you replace him with AB, who is the opposite of Amari Cooper.
I talk about this on the show all the time, but the next day after the first game, he says, "Hey fellas, we need a pass rush." What?
He just gave up the best one in the league.
And he single-handedly affected their defense.
Yeah.
Like he had like two strip sacks.
Oh yeah, he had a forced fumble. He had a touchdown. He had
crazy.
I'm like, oh man.
He's like, yo, I want to play corner, safety, and linebacker, and Mike linebacker, and D-line. What's up?
I know Gruden was mad at himself.
Yeah, most definitely.
Watching that game. Like,
all right. How do you know he was mad at himself? You can't get in a person's head.
You're right.
I just use your arm. Remember you said about the Kobe thing?
All
right, so
I was watching that game upset.
Yeah,
I'm
most
gonna give
definitely.
that up.
Most definitely.
So the team that the Raiders just played last week, Arizona Cardinals, right? There was a certain highly anticipated #1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. Not just a first-round pick in the football draft. Also, shout out to Major League Baseball.
Exactly.
Kyler Murray.
Because they was going to give him the boatload just for coming to play with us. Sign with us.
Right.
Just sign with us.
So to say Kyler Murray struggled a bit versus the Raiders, understatement, would you say?
Yeah.
3 for 8, 12 yards, couple sacks, a safety.
It was an accurate statement. That's it.
And I think from the clips that I saw, all that speed and his fastest player on all I know is those ends was keeping up with him.
Oh yeah, you can game plan against that. Game plan against that. I mean, the way the ends play, outside, inside. You know what I mean? Like it's what it is. Yeah.
Caught him. And there's actually a couple of penalties that Kyler got for clapping his hands. I don't know if y'all saw that or not.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. Like they were doing that all last year. I guess that was a big old thing in the meeting because I always remember. I remember Peyton just do this. But I remember.
And I'm not sure exactly because Cam, when it gets down to 3, 2, 1,
that's what I'm thinking of.
So I don't
think of who I was thinking.
So I'm not sure exactly what it was. I think what it is this Cliff Kingsbury air raid spread out. Your offensive lineman is split. I think the league doesn't want this foolishness. They're like, nah, this college, we're looking at the sideline. No, we're not gonna have that. That's kind of what I think it was.
Because it's old boy league at the same time. That's why I'm so surprised about the Jay-Z mess, but more on that later. But yeah,
more.
You know what I mean?
We will
talk about it now?
We'll talk about that.
Let's talk about it now. All right, so the moment we all been waiting for, Jay-Z and the NFL have gone ahead and signed a big old deal. I don't know the details of it.
Right.
But the bigger thing about it is this is a segue into Jay-Z becoming the first majority black owner. So I want to ask Cole about this. What do you think about just the ownership? I don't want you to talk about anything else. Just what do you think about the ownership, the projections of the ownership, the prognostication of the ownership? What do you think? Just start talking about it.
I think the NFL is long overdue for a black owner.
Right, absolutely.
If that first one has to be Jay-Z, that's a win.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about ownership.
All right. So next, Jay-Z was drugged through the mud after this situation by Eric Reed, by various commentators, questioned by Charlamagne the God in front of everyone, in front of Roger Goodell, and he said a bunch of things. He said we're past kneeling, and as well, he previously said that. Advised Jermaine Dupri, T.I., a lot of the Atlanta rappers not to participate in production of the Super Bowl.
Right. He turned down a performance as well.
And he turned down a performance as well. Mm-hmm. So good job. At least you didn't take the money then. Okay, so now he comes back the next year and takes a deal similar or not similar.
2 years in now, right?
Huh?
2 years.
2 years. You're right. 2 years in. So I'm gonna put this to anybody who feels more passionate about it. What do y'all think about that? And should his name be dragged in the mud, or are you like if as long as the ends justifies the means, or what do y'all feel? Just somebody starts talking.
So my first thoughts as soon as I saw Jay-Z was going to be collaborating with the league, I already knew what the end game was ultimately going to be. Right, I knew that he was putting his foot in the door so he could be an owner at some point in some time, right?
Exactly.
And to me, my first thought was, finally, you have a league that's 75% black, but if I look up, there's no one else that looks like us.
Or what? Yeah.
It's literally like
a slave mentality.
Hold on, it's literally like hockey.
Yeah.
all the owners of hockey are black, and so
that's nice.
No, like it's the same thing. All the owners are black, and when a white man would, if he was to then try to be an owner of a hockey team, I don't think they would look twice at him for becoming an owner that's 95% white or 97% white. So why is it that a lot of times we in our community, kind of like what they tend to say, we're at odds with each other still.
That's
always at odds with each other.
Honestly,
like, why are we not working for the same common
our
goal?
Community works. And that's the way that they want our community to work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, hey, this man's got something, this man's got something, they're mutually exclusive. Let's make them together, but against each other. You know what I mean? It's just
I have a question,
always happens. It always happens.
Why is it that...
It's easily done, too.
Why is it that Jay-Z potentially becoming an owner? Why does that mean that he's against Colin Kaepernick?
Well, this is what I feel, and this is kind of answering your question, but I'm feeling like the NFL. Okay, you're kind of I don't know who I can't talk for you, but I'm thinking that you're thinking that Jay-Z is one of us inside the room, and he's going to be an owner. But I'm thinking that the NFL stripped all of the us from him when he made. I'm sure he signed a 200-page contract with. I'm sure he had lawyers go through it and all that, but I'm assuming that they stripped him from. They stripped the us out of it because they're like, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this.
No, there's no way. No way. No how.
I feel like
there's no way. No how.
You're disparaging Hov at this point. Like just because right. I would give Hov the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
He would if it were a deal that he didn't see fit or it didn't see beneficial to us, to his people.
Yeah.
I don't think he would do it. And where I get that from is just his history. Okay. He's never painted me as the one that do right for $1. You know what I'm saying? They fall in line for $1. So I believe that Hov has the bigger picture in mind.
Okay.
So this is the question that I would ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Colin Kaepernick is more likely to get signed right current day, or if Jay-Z becomes an owner?
Hold on. Go ahead.
Or if Jay-Z becomes an owner of a team and he has input into who like the team can sign, because a lot of times owners have input over this is who can sign and this, that, or the other. So I'm just asking, what do you think is more likely? What's the more likely outcome of Kaepernick jumping back into the league without an African American owner, or with? That's the only question I.
Can I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes.
To your question?
Please. Yes.
Why is the Jay-Z decision about Kaepernick getting a job?
It has nothing to do with Kaepernick. But the only reason why I pose that question is because when I'm seeing all of these comments and all the comments that's coming towards Jay-Z, a lot of them are referencing Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. Did you talk to Kaepernick? And when I'm hearing this, I'm like, why does he have to talk to Kaepernick? Like, bro, like Kaepernick is like,
it's not about Cap.
It's not about Cap. Like,
let's bring, because we got 40% ladies on the page, so bring it up to the ladies. What's her name? I don't remember her name. The rapper, the female rapper, the hottest female rapper.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Cardi
B, yeah, Cardi B. Cardi B went on the press. TMZ caught her. Mm-hmm. TMZ, the sports media kings, right. Catch everything. If Jaworski or Ron Jaworski don't catch it, TMZ will.
Whatever happened to Ron? Was Ron not on ESPN no more?
I don't know.
I think he got sick. I remember he had lost all that weight.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, shout out to Ron.
Yeah.
for real. But she got on TMZ and she says, yeah. You know how she talk. I ain't going to tell you. Chill. Okay. I can't remember.
Jeez. Oh Lord.
I'm embarrassed. I did it in front of so many people. But anyway, so she got on the media and she says that hey, I think it's good what Jay-Z's doing, and I think that we can get Kaepernick back up in there now. I was like, that's stupid, because already in his first press conference, Charlamagne the God says, "What you think about what Kaepernick started?" No, we passed that.
Right.
Okay, so we passed Kaepernick.
What I will say, I wish Jay-Z had worded himself a little bit.
Yes. Said a little something.
Because I don't, and again, I can't think for the man.
Right. Exactly.
But I don't think he meant
that's
we're
how
past that.
Yeah, that's not what he meant either.
I just think that's
not concentrating on
it's stairs.
Yeah.
That's the first step. Mm-hmm. Now we're on to the second step.
Right.
I think that's more so what he meant.
Exactly.
But seeing Hov a little agitated, I haven't seen that.
Exactly.
So it was kind of nice to see, to be honest.
But I
do
knew
wish
he was going to be.
better.
I knew he was prepared for it though, because he was prepared. And sometimes when you're prepared for agitation, sometimes you get agitated easier. Yeah. You know what I mean? You be like, say something to me. Say something to me. What?
Got him quick.
Yeah, so
you knew it was coming.
But because I was surprised that Charlamagne the God was the one that asked that. Actually, I was surprised he was in the room, because I was looking at it, I was like, a black guy, and I saw his little the head, and I was like, oh, that's Charlamagne.
Right.
And then Charlamagne comes out and says, hey, what about dude? Like, I was like, oh man, cool. So I was glad that he asked it, but I was disappointed in the reaction. Like, he didn't. I wish he would have said, this is how I wish he would have said, hey, that's not what I want to concentrate on. Hey, it's still a thing, and it's still a form of protest, and we're probably, or not probably, we're still going, because he can't say probably, he can't use that word, and we're still going to do it here and there. But however, that's not going to be that's not going to be my purpose, nor is it going to be the mode of improvement. You know what I mean? We're not going to get to the promised land through kneeling. We're going to get to the promised land through actions. You know what I mean? But from my standpoint, you understand that the basis of this is in the legalities. You know what I mean? It's about how the cops get hired, how the racist guy who used to get picked on gets hired as a cop and pulls the black guy over and goes ahead and says, hey, get out the car, and is rude to him, and gets mad at him when he gets smart with him and knees him in the chest or knees him in his, whatever. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that how can this affect that? Because we're just basically pissing people off. Like, because this is how I perceived it in the beginning. I perceived it as, and I know a lot of people who are annoyed by this, being real with you. But however, I thought of it as this: you get up in the morning, every morning, to go to work, and you got a short way and you got a long way. The short way is congested with black people and white people protesting racial equality in 1961. You know what I mean? Say they're protesting. So what you do is you got to take the long way to work, and you're cussing these black people out the whole time, mad, like, dang, man, dumb Martin Luther King, stupid ass ends. And then you get to work. It's 5 minutes longer, as well as you spend a little more gas. That's how I feel this situation. Well, because it's not really hurting you, but it's just making it slightly less.
So I think part of the issue is when it comes.
But do you feel me on that?
Yeah. So I think what a lot of people feel is that it's Sunday. Mm-hmm. I just want to watch football. Like, I've had a long week. Yeah. Life, this is going wrong this week.
And that's what my dad said.
I just want to turn on, I'm not trying to see no political nothing. It's not about you. I don't appreciate. It's not your issue. There's a lot of issues I care about. True. Just not from 1 to 4 o'clock on Sunday. That's how some people feel. Like, it's
so we can do it on the night game at 8 o'clock.
Right, when it's like, some, Cowboys, Giants, some game that nobody cares about, something like that, Yeah, it's too much going on, But,
I just do it every time.
Right, I know. But, so, with that being said, how will it affect change? I think it's huge for one of us to be in that room. Mm-hmm. I think that's a huge first step, because this is the 100th year that the league is celebrating.
Let me cut you off. Do you trust Jay-Z?
Do I trust him?
Just in general, do you trust him?
Yes.
Okay, you trust him, right? Okay, just making sure. I think that's what the people who are against this situation. I think that's what people are. I don't think they trust Jay-Z.
I think
his track record is impeccable, but they don't trust him.
I think people just like to be mad at this point. Not just with this, but across the board, people find a reason to be mad. How about we just wait and see what happens?
Exactly. That's my opinion.
How about that? Like,
I don't want to have shows like this. I don't need to have shows like this.
Yeah.
This show's stupid. Shut up. This is way about it. It's stupid. That's how I feel. Because when I saw Skip and Shannon, and I saw Nick and all them boys, I was like, and all of basically everyone said wait and see. And I was like, that's what I want.
He may not even see the end goal. Like it's bigger than Hov. Like it's bigger than Cap. It's bigger than Hov. So he may not even see the end goal, but him starting it,
right, which is huge.
That's huge. That's a win.
Part of it is too, like a lot of people are saying that he's, trying to up his portfolio and trying to get more money. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing about it is though, you can't be quote unquote broke and be a part of the league. Right, like it has to be someone wealthy who has to be. So are you mad that is Jay-Z? Because any African American to become a part owner of the league has got to be wealthy. There's only a handful. It's either going to be Jordan. It's going to be Jordan, Jay-Z, Oprah. The guy who used to own the Hornets, Bob Johnson. There's only like there's only like one of 5 guys, who is gonna be. So are you mad at everybody? And is it that we're mad because of the comments that he made against Cap saying we're past kneeling?
But see,
or
I was mad at that. That it kind of perturbed me. Not made me mad because I'm not mad at him by no means because he's getting in there. Like I feel like we got a spy on the inside. That's how I feel. Right. Might not be the situation, but that's how I feel. But when he just threw it off, he was like, we passed that. We passed that. I was like, really, it kind of hurt a little bit.
I just really think it was a poor choice of words.
Right.
That's all.
But you said it hurt in the immediate. And once you take a step back, because we just talked about it.
Exactly.
Once you take a step back, it's like, oh, okay, he's kind of right. Yeah. It could have been softer.
Exactly.
But he's right. Yeah. So what's the problem?
And they wanted a political answer. Be real. That's what it was. That's what it was. His answer wasn't political enough.
But he ain't that.
But he's not a politician. So that's good. That's why we got Trump in office, because he's not a politician.
Right. Sometimes they
I was joking.
You went too far.
Cut the mic.
Full boy.
Alright, so next we're gonna get into something that's near and dear to my heart. The Lakers.
Boogie!
We lost Boogie, man. We lost Boogie Cousins.
Let me. I know you want to talk.
Oh no, I don't. Listen, whatever you want to say, I don't want to say it.
The last show that was, I believe, last Tuesday.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. 2 weeks ago, Ryan was in here. I gave him the remote, or he just found the remote.
Oh yeah.
And this man
we
closed out what we were watching and opened up YouTube
highlights.
And he's watched highlights of the
Pelicans, man. Boogie and AD, dog. It's true. And it's true. I put on the highlights, bro.
And you know what I said?
I put on the highlights.
And you know all I could say? As soon as I saw that, I said, we potentially could be missing some beautiful basketball.
Yeah.
And we are. Because we're never going to see that. We might not even see Boogie in a jersey again. What do you think about that?
I think he'll play again.
Yeah, I think he'll play again.
But I think Boogie is gone.
He needs to be a fat dude.
I think he's gonna be DeMarcus Cousins going forward. And this is I'm a big fan of Boogie. To be able to be inside, outside,
right?
The way he can take you off the dribble.
He slept on. I'm so sad.
The biggest uniqueness to me is his playmaking.
Yes.
Like he makes everyone around him better. Yes. You added him to Golden State, and granted he was still getting his bearings back, but when he's on the offensive side of the ball, he made Golden State better.
And what was that game where he just like had this breakout game?
That was game 3, I think.
Game 3, okay, all right, yeah. I was so impressed. I was so excited. I was salivating about the next year. Wherever Boogie goes, he gonna be good.
But that's sad, man, and especially for it to be all on one leg, essentially.
Exactly.
It sounds like overcompensation. People talking about him coming back this year. I personally want to see Boogie just sit down, take all the time you need.
Honestly, as much as I would love to see him help us in any capacity win a championship, honestly, I think the best thing for him to do is be extra cautious, because that's what happened. He rushed back from the Achilles, then he rushed back from the quad. And now this latest knee injury. And this is the unfortunate side of basketball. Because this is how most superstars' careers end. Like, LeBron is rare. Think about the superstars. Tracy McGrady, Steve Francis, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, Derrick Rose. This is how careers end. Like, you get hurt and you go away. Like, that's kind of what happens. Like, you get injured. This is how most superstar careers end.
Exactly. That injury that you can't bounce back from.
Right. You know, your Vince Carter played for 22 years is rare. Your Kevin Garnett never get hurt, just played for 20 years is rare. Most players...
Wade. That's rare.
Wade is rare, and he even got hurt, kind of, and then was a little lesser version, but was still Wade County every now and then. He was pretty good playing against the Sixers in the playoffs.
Right,
he's pretty good. Right. He's sitting longer. He's some room.
You want to get out so bad. He's like,
I don't want to do
they don't see me nothing.
Yeah, so, like I said, Lakers lost Cousins, but there's still some options that are out there on the free agency market.
Yeah.
One of the names we're tossing out, recycled name, been there, done that. Dwight Howard.
We got the white. You know we get
best
too.
big man in the league. Right.
Oh.
All right. So the throwback. All right. So
No, that's
how would you?
That's you gotta say that's original. I just made it up. Just yesterday.
I don't want to get in that right now.
10-year-old song. I just made it up.
I don't want to get it all right now.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this.
Because you was looking stupid.
The first thing I'm gonna ask you: are you in or out on Lakers signing Dwight? In or out?
I'm definitely in because it's the last resort.
In or out?
What?
I want you to answer first because you're a Laker fan.
So
the last big name resort. That's what we're saying.
So,
but that's
as far as Dwight, in, but with caveat. LeBron gotta invite him to Taco Tuesday. No, I'm being for real. I'm being for real. I need a team event because the difference between Melo and the difference between Dwight. Players speak up for Melo.
True.
They're like, yo, Melo needs a farewell tour and all this.
I don't want a farewell tour. I want to play.
Right.
if my dog in Brooklyn.
Bro, nobody likes Dwight. Like, teams don't. Hawks are not in the business of giving away players. They're like, go. Yeah. Jordan's like, Dwight, go. Yeah. Like, Wizards have nothing going on. They have. Why is it you wouldn't want Dwight Howard on your team? You have no other players.
Yeah.
So you want Isaiah Thomas, 5'9", hasn't played in 3.5 years, but you don't want Dwight. Grizzlies said we don't even want to see you play basketball. The Nets, people forget he got traded to the Nets a couple years ago. He got traded to the Nets?
I forgot, but I remember now.
And he never played for the Nets. Mm-hmm. So we gotta invite him to Taco Tuesday and sit down and be like, hey, if you embrace your role, because this is the thing about him. His numbers are good. He's not washed. He's injury prone, but his numbers are pretty good. If we can get him to buy into a role he's never bought into, he always thinks he's keen to dream, wants to shimmy, and he's super jokey and all these things. But
I'll say one thing, Anthony Davis is happy.
But
because he don't got to play center.
Exactly.
and we're gonna have to talk about him. Look, bro, you're 7 feet tall.
No,
you gotta stop.
He's a power forward.
His
skill set. He's a power forward.
Yes.
Anthony Davis is a power forward.
Bro, we just talked about this last show.
You can't.
All of us are 5'7", and you're 6'8". We want you to play in the hole, man. We don't want you to bring up the ball.
Bro,
Let me bring up the ball, man. Let me bring up the ball, please.
We don't relate, but
problems I never had to deal with. Bro. I don't know about these issues that you speak about. These little man issues. I don't know what you talking about.
Get out my bench, little boy.
Right.
So KD would be a center too. KD taller than Kevin.
No. Come on now.
So we just talking because
No. This is not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's not a power forward. I'm saying that he realizes when we close games, our best lineup is you at the 5. And you're power forward, but you're like a big man power forward. You're not running around screens like Ray Allen or Chris Bosh was ... Yeah. Because Chris Bosh wasn't doing it until he played with LeBron. So we'll see how it works out.
Anthony Davis better than Chris Bosh.
No, he is. But I'm saying is Chris Bosh was 25-12 to play with LeBron, and he transformed his game until Ray Allen-ish, where he's outside on the perimeter. But the point I'm getting at is that he's adamant about not playing the 5. I'm not saying he's going to play 40 minutes a game at the 5. I'm just saying last 6 minutes of the game, you're going to be playing the 5. That's all I'm saying. Our closing lineup, first 42 minutes, we'll play 22 minutes Dwight, 20 minutes to Val. And the last 6 at the 5 is going to be Davis. And just take that, man. Like, you got to play. I'm just saying, it's like, I'm not going to play. It's like Braun saying, dude, I'm not going to play point guard. Like, at some point, you're going to dribble the ball. That's point guard-esque. Like, I'm not saying literally guard point guards, chase point guards, but at some point.
Oh, he's not guarding point guards. Ask Kuzma.
No. Right. So.
But you don't like me talking about LeBron.
Right. So let me ask you this. Oh
no, he had to answer something.
Of our options.
What's the word?
Of our options.
My bad.
Would you recommend us signing Dwight, or do you think we should take our time and wait until something else better comes?
Y'all should definitely get Dwight.
Okay.
I'm a Dwight fan too.
Okay.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. Yeah, he is.
I think he has some locker room issues that we can't speak to. There's definitely something about him that rubs people the wrong way.
Yes. Remember him on at the NBA at the halftime show?
No,
wow, that boy ripped him.
Yeah, it was cooking.
That boy,
it was cooking.
But y'all look that up. TNT halftime show with Dwight Howard. It'll be the first thing. You won't even have to finish typing. NBA show, Dwight, and it'll come up.
Yeah. You talk talent. I think he got a raw deal the first time he was in LA. So if we just talk talent, yeah, get him. And I agree with you. There needs to be some camaraderie. But yes, the answer is yes. Get Dwight. I don't even know why you bringing in Joakim Noah and whoever the other dude was. No, get Dwight.
Yeah. So
were they really talking about bringing up
they all
top old behind?
I know there were 3 people that got workouts. It was Dwight, Joakim, and somebody else.
And Mo Spates.
Oh, okay.
You know him. He played for the Warriors.
Yep.
Mo buckets.
And I remember him because in that final series, and I remember because I watched the game. They were playing against the Cavs. He had a fast break, a breakaway dunk. Missed the dunk. He didn't play the rest of the series.
Wow.
I just know.
Yeah,
just because I used to like the Warriors back then or whatever.
Exactly.
But so with that being said, let me ask you this: with Cousins being injured, how does that affect our title chances though?
It doesn't affect it too much.
Same or
it doesn't affect it that much because initially we were all happy and strung up without Boogie even there. Remember, we just knew Boogie was in the pool and we could get him. But we were happy once we had the squad together. LeBron and AD. That's in Kuz because that's the key. We kept Kuz. That's when I looked on the headline. I was like, oh, they closed the deal. I know Kuzma's gone. I know Zoe's gone. No Kuzma?
I know.
Yes! I was so happy. You know what I mean? So, honestly, it doesn't matter too much until the playoffs. But he might not have made it to the playoffs anyway. So, I don't think we lost too much. Being honest with you. Yeah. Because I think he was going to get hurt anyway. And obviously, you saw the injury. He was going to get hurt at some point in the season. He just fell down.
Honestly, though,
non-contact injury.
Honestly, though, that's how most basketball players get hurt. Though, is through non-contact injuries.
I mean, not just basketball, but football.
Yeah, like that's how most players get hurt.
Knee injuries.
You're non-contact. Like
the bad ones.
You know, that's how Kevin Durant tore his calf, tore his Achilles. There was no contact. It just sort of gives.
Yeah.
To answer your question, though, I do think it hurts your chances some. I do think y'all are still in the top 3 out west as favorites. So
who is your third team? Because I'm assuming the Clippers, Lakers, and the
Denver.
Who's your third team?
I actually got Denver getting to the finals this year.
Wow.
Okay.
I think Jeremy Grant was a big addition for them. A stretch 4.
Yeah. Look at
running 4.
my Thunder giving away players like. Don't get me started.
And they trying to.
I don't know what they do.
They got Chris Paul for no reason.
Let me ask you a question because I'm also a Thunder fan. Westbrook, huge. That's my guy.
All right.
Let me ask you this. So when I look at the Thunder, right, and with the West being as wide open as it was, the Thunder to me were one free agent signing away from being one of those teams that could win a championship, right? I was thinking, you add like a JJ Redick, and that is as like a shooting guard to put alongside Russ and Paul George, and they're right there in like the heat of the West, right? Top 4, right? But instead, they trade Paul George to the Clippers, Westbrook to the Rockets, Grant to the Nuggets for what? First round picks? How are they even? So these first round picks are traded to the top 4 teams in the West. So what are they gonna pick in the low 20s every? Like, what are they doing, man?
At this point, I think
what are they doing?
I think they're rebuilding. I think they thought Chris Paul would have been a little bit easier to get off of. But now since they couldn't, they kind of stuck with it. But once they got rid of Paul George, the rest had to happen.
I mean,
the rest had to happen, and I think Paul George kind of gave him an ultimatum in a sense. Like it's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's more so win. And it's now. It's the win.
Right. But where they do that at, where they apprehend a guy that they just don't need and can't trade. Like, I know they didn't know that they couldn't trade him, but you know that nobody wants Chris Paul.
Something told me that they knew that they couldn't trade him.
Like, I just don't understand. Like, I want the NFL to get like the NBA. Like, you making trades to adhere to players' needs? Like, what?
Right.
Like, that's so beautiful.
Right.
Like, I was like, yo, y'all did right by my dog Westbrook. To do wrong by yourself. I know you're in real rebuilding mode, but that doesn't still doesn't answer for that. You know what I mean? That still doesn't answer for that.
There is one more question that I have to ask you while you are here.
Let's get it.
Rookie survey came out.
Yes, sir.
42 rookies were surveyed. Mm-hmm. They were asked, which NBA rookie is going to have the best career? Would you know Zion came in tied for fourth? Mm-hmm. And first was his teammate, not RJ Barrett, but Cam Reddish. Mm-hmm. What do you think about, first things, Zion not having the first best career, second best career, third best career, but possibly the fifth best career? And then second part of the question, what do you think about the rookies thinking that Cam Reddish is going to have the best pro career?
Well, I follow high school basketball all the way up, so I'm a huge fan of Cam Reddish.
No,
so I actually agree with the.
You have to talk to me because I'm a huge Duke fan,
right?
So I watch a lot of Duke games.
That's trash. Go Heels.
Which is fun. All right, you're a Heels fan. Answer me this: what did Cam do?
Cam is not.
When Zion blew out his shoe,
right?
And that was the best future pro picks chance of signing. What did he do against y'all? Tell me that.
He didn't play well.
All right,
but if that's going to be an indictment of his full career, you got it. I can't argue that.
No,
but
can I argue that? Smooth. Okay.
But if we're talking skill sets, Cam Reddish, he had a bad year at Duke. But for me, I don't think he should have went to Duke. He's he should have went to Carolina. That's neither here nor there. But even if he didn't go to Carolina, Cam Reddish he needs the ball. He's a facilitator and a scorer. So when he's next to RJ Barrett, who's a black hole, when he's next to Zion Williamson, who deserves as much touches as he gets, Cam Reddish is going to be left out a little bit. So let's say Cam Reddish is somewhere Indiana, like Romeo Langford, you get all the shots you want. Cam Reddish would have had a better season.
This is my question though, and I understand, and I think a lot of it comes from exactly what you just said. I think a lot of his peers played with and they played with him in high school, right?
And they know him.
And they know him. But this is my thing though, right? Mm-hmm. As competition improves, right, in sports. One thing that we know is just because you're the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback doesn't mean you can play any position in
the NFL.
Right. So same thing in the pros. There's thousands of great college players who weren't good playing in the pros, right?
Right.
So the only thing I hear about Cam is he's a shooter. As someone who watched a lot of Duke games, and I understand he was a third option, didn't get the dribble, and RJ Barrett's a ball hog. Trust me, RJ Barrett's a ball hog. I get it, right? But what does that have to do with Cam not hitting wide open threes? That's the only thing I need someone to tell me that.
Basketball is a rhythm sport. Basketball is all about touches. It's about vibe.
But this is but isn't
hold on.
That's wrong. Mark that fault. Sorry, that's wrong.
No, he has a shoulder issue. He has a shoulder issue. Like this. But like it's so do you have an issue with DeAndre Hunter being 3? Is your issue with Cam being 1 or Zion not being 1?
I'm a Duke fan. Speaking objectively, I prefer Marvin Bagley over Zion.
Well, he's not a rookie.
Right. But I'm just letting you know what I think about Zion is that if given the option, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd pick Marvin. If they both came out this year, I'd pick Marvin Bagley over Zion. So I think Zion was good in college. I don't think he's the best Duke freshman ever. But to answer your question, my issue is that they think Cam Reddish is going to be the best pro player, and I'm not saying he wasn't given the opportunities. I'm just saying is all I hear he's prototypical 3 and 3-and-D wing. Mm-hmm. He didn't play a whole lot of defense at Duke.
He's not a 3-and-D though. He's an offensive 3.
Offensive 3 who can't shoot threes though. That's what I'm saying. He shot a lower 3-point percentage than Zion.
Right. He had a bad season. That's not arguable.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean he's not good.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have the potential to get better. I'm just saying, isn't his role with the Hawks going to be similar to what he just played with Duke? Is it not going to be Trae Young, John Collins pick and roll, kick out the Cam for the wide open 3? When at college it was RJ Barrett, Zion pick and roll, or RJ 1,000 dribbles, kick out to Cam Reddish for the wide open 3. Isn't it going to be a similar role? Is what I'm saying. Isn't he supposed to be a knockdown shooter?
It'll be similar but more advanced. Because if you watch Atlanta last year, Trae Young would play off ball sometimes because he's a knockdown.
Right.
Trae Young is a knockdown shooter.
Cam,
but I think you're looking at it wrong because Cam is a scorer. He's not just a knockdown shooter, and scorers need reps. Scorers need shots.
Okay.
If you talking about just a matter of a 20-minute half in college basketball, if he don't get his first shot until 15 minutes in, the rest of his game is a little bit off. Okay. Not giving him an excuse. Okay. He has to be better. I agree with you.
Okay.
But if we're talking skill sets and then the opportunity that he's going to, Atlanta, all they need is a 3. So we're talking about between him and DeAndre Hunter playing a little bit of the 4. They're a running gun team along with Trae. He's going to be a lot better.
All right. So, what do you think of Zion?
He's a phenomenal athlete.
How good of a pro do you think he's transcendental?
I don't.
Okay.
I think he has potential to be, but I don't think he is.
Okay.
I think Zion is a much better. When I say this name, think about him in his prime. But I think Kenneth Faried, but a little bit better. I don't think Zion's.
I can see that.
Kill the league, but he's going to be a solid contributor for a very long time.
Okay. So what's funny is my guy used to play on the Thunder, Cantor. You know Knicks. Yeah, I'm a fan of his too. I like all my guys on the Thunder. But he compared Zion, and he got clowned for it. But he said he's Julius Randle with hops.
Yeah.
And Julius Randle was offended, and I think it had a negative connotation. But Julius Randle just averaged 21 and 10 in 3.5. Now, if Julius Randle had a 45-minute vertical, that's like 28 and 15. That sounds pretty good to me.
I agree.
So I'm like,
that goes back.
And I'm a Julius Randle fan, so I'm like, so you know,
and that goes back to a little bit of an earlier statement. Right. I just think people look to be mad because once you step back from that, if Zion comes in the league and averages 20 and 10 in 3. Nigga, he is a baller.
Right. That's the definition of a baller. That's the definition of a baller. So, Fonz.
Yes, sir.
From this draft class, if we look back 5 years from now, who do you think is going to be the best pro?
I think RJ Barrett.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I really
Black hole.
Yep.
Listen, man.
RJ
Barrett is, when I say RJ, of any Duke, I've been a Duke fan for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I've never seen Coach K give a greener light to any Duke player in the history of Duke basketball. I'm talking Jay Williams, Trajan Langdon, the Alaskan Assassin, JJ Redick, Jabari Parker, Jason. Man, RJ Barrett.
Excuse me, wrong about Jabari.
RJ Barrett is a ball hog times like. I'm out. I'm out on RJ Barrett.
one thing I'll say about RJ is he's very coachable. Because from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, he became a much better player. He still has a long way to go, like with the turnovers and just not looking. He's always looking to score when he's in a passing position sometimes.
Yes, true.
But he got better through the year with that. It still when the battle got thick, he still resorted back to him going back to his same old thing. But at the end of the day, I do think he's coachable, which means he has the potential to get out of those bad habits he got.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
So, enough about all my former Duke greats. I have enough of that talk right now. OKC, Westbrook. Shout out to Westbrook.
Oh no, we gotta do it.
Westbrook! right. Okay, so getting back to it.
Yes, sir.
Football is on the horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have good news coming out of Carolina.
Yes.
My quarterback is playing.
Yes, sir.
And he's healthy.
And he's throwing the ball
and
over 20 yards.
Deep! Curtis Samuel. And he's on my fantasy team, so watch out.
Very good.
Actually,
introduce him one more time because some people weren't watching earlier.
Oh yeah. Carolina. Oh, excuse me. Champions Fate. Brandon Busby is providing the winner of both fantasy football leagues with jerseys of their choice. And check out his Facebook page at Champions Fate. That's Fate with PHATE. Check it out.
Ashley Falls Fate.
Like Ashley Falls Fate.
Yellow.
So, what are your expectations for a healthy Cam Newton this year? What say you? I'm ready.
Okay, about that poll that I put.
Yeah.
I don't have him in the MVP conversation, but I have him having a great year.
Okay.
Not in the MVP, not nowhere near the MVP conversation.
Okay.
But he's gonna have a good year.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
All right. That's good enough for me. I'll take it.
Yeah. What are your expectations? You looking at me kind of strong, like you want to bust out your face, like you just wanted to come at me. So what you say? What you got to say?
Not at all. I think Cam's MVP status is going to be dependent on the team and how well they do. But I agree with you. I think Cam's going to have a great bounce back year. I don't know how the record's going to pan out though.
Yeah. I say 9-7. What you got?
That's fine. 11-5.
Okay. So what you think about Cam?
I got playoffs.
Winning the division or wild card?
I got us winning the
or the vaunted Saints.
The division. First of all, the Saints don't scare me because I think something that people aren't talking about. The Saints lost Mark Ingram, which is not enough people are talking about, and the drop off from Murray to Ingram is high. Murray is what, 6'3"?
Mm-hmm.
No, 6'3" running backs out there, and that's for a reason, right?
Exactly.
He also doesn't catch the ball like Ingram. He's not the same style runner as Ingram, and Kamara hasn't proven to be Zeke to carry the ball 300 times, catch the ball 77 catches type of guy. I think his career high in runs in the game is like 12 or 13, maybe. Yeah. I mean, so.
Okay.
I just think that the loss of Ingram is going to be high. Also, I think y'all saw Breeze in the second half of the season, last 6 games. He wasn't very good in the last 6 games. Yeah. He's also older, which goes hand in hand with them falling off. I think against the Cowboys, you saw he was kind of suspect, right, when he played against y'all in the last game.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he was suspect when he played us.
Boy, that was Super Bowl, you know that, right?
Remember that? When Cam couldn't throw the ball but 5-6 yards.
I love it.
When Cam was throwing the ball 5-6 yards, couldn't throw the ball 12 yards. He struggled against us too, and that was towards the end of the season.
True.
So I'm not really scared of the Saints. They don't scare me. We had a lot of off-season players we've added. We switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Gonna get more pressure on the quarterback. Confident.
I like the Gerald McCoy signing. That's big time.
Gerald McCoy is huge.
That's big time.
Burns out of Florida State, coming off the edge. Cool. Christian McCaffrey. That boy runs CMC. You're gonna put some respect on his name finally. Eminem. Yeah, like that. We're gonna stop calling him that. We're gonna call him Christian.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch it. Another quarterback, mobile quarterback, extremely mobile quarterback.
Who that?
Action Jackson.
Woo!
First of it, this is gonna be the second of its kind. because we never had a quarterback that quick, that fast.
Let's not disparage the experience that was Michael Vick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Other than that, that's we never had a quarterback that fast except for Vick. You know what I mean? So, with it being said, Vick had an arm. Vick had a cannon.
Yes, he did.
Lamar Jackson has an arm, but he has no accuracy. Matter of fact, I looked up some stats today, and I saw that the people have him as the most inaccurate quarterback statistically in the league.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So, what do you think? What do you think is going to come out with? Do you think they're going to stay with the same mentality? Do you think they're going to switch it up? What do you think is going to happen?
There was a great coach years ago. I believe he was coaching the Colts at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you heard me say this before. Stats are for losers. All right? And as I continue to watch football, and over the years, I'm learning stats are for losers.
Mm-hmm.
The same, and this goes right hand in hand with your quarterback too, right? The only thing I hear about Jackson, he's inaccurate, he's this and that. Dak, he can't do this and that. I know Dak won games. I know Jackson was 58% completion percentage, but as a starter, what was he? He's 7-2, and they went to the playoffs.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this: You want Kirk Cousins 70%, 4,500 yards with what? His team went 7-9 with no playoffs. Mm-hmm. Vikings had a pretty good defense too, and he has a top 12 receivers throwing to. So stats are for losers. That's all I want to say. I don't care.
Yeah.
He can't throw. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does he win the game? There's a chance of. He's not accurate. Guess what that means? He's probably not going to turn the ball over.
True. He's not going to take any risky passes.
Not take no risky passes.
He's going to be like this.
I'm going to take off the run.
I can't do that.
Hey, not going to be able to do it. Take off the run.
He comes back to the first read.
Not going to be able to do it. Right. So, but one of the things that has me excited about the possibility of what the Ravens might do, because what the coach is talking about doing is letting them carry the ball a record number of times, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
The average length of a career is only 3.5 years anyways. We worry about him getting hurt. Just let him play for his rookie contract. Honestly, let him play his rookie contract.
So DeMarco Murray, that boy at quarterback.
DeMarco Murray at quarterback. Let him get the DeMarco Murray treatment. Y'all already said he can't. You said he can't throw anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, 3 or 4 years.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the big old boys.
Big old boys.
Now, this is the main reason why I wanted you on the show. So this is my dog. He's a big old Cowboys fan, as I am since birth till death do them part.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of disparaging situations going on the defense and on the offense, but let's talk about defense. We have a bunch of defensive linemen out, as well as suspended and PED. Like, what's going to happen?
Cowboys gonna cowboy.
What's going to happen? I mean, they ain't getting no trouble for no Michael Irvin stuff. Like, you know what I mean? They ain't doing nothing like that, so it's cool. They ain't doing no Quincy Carter mess. So, what do you think about their defense? Oh, as well as we solidified the defense. Jalen Smith got that Todd Gurley money.
Yes, sir.
When Zeke's not getting paid at all, Zeke getting paid $7 million next year or something like that. Like
2 and 12 left.
Yeah, so what are we doing? Is it smart, dumb? Just talk, because I know you got a bunch of stuff to say about this.
Seems a little bit like Jerry's trolling Zeke at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
He did that consecutively. He said Zeke who, and then paid someone else Zeke's money.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's kind of coincidental because when you look at it, the contracts almost match identical to Todd Gurley.
That's outrageous.
That's outrageous.
That's what I was saying, man.
So, what say you, my brother?
To that, I don't agree. I think in watching the clip, the quote is horrible. Jerry, nonetheless, he shouldn't have said
like Jay-Z.
Jerry put his foot in his mouth. He needs to put his foot. He does that way too often.
Exactly.
But watching him saying
he
was trying to be funny.
He talks too much. Like if me and Ryan are going live every single day at 12 and 6, we're gonna say some stupid stuff or some controversial stuff. You know what I mean?
And I just think He shouldn't have said it, but I do think he was trying to be funny. He was trying to bring lightness to a very heavy situation. In regards to the money being similar, that just puts Jalen in the top 5. It's coincidental, I think. It's a dotted line. You can connect them, but I wouldn't necessarily connect them. I think Jerry wants to sign everybody, and I agree with him. We can't overpay. I think when he drafted Zeke number 4, you already know you're paying him. You took him number 4. You need to be prepared for that. Whatever dollar value that is, have it. Dak, I don't want us to overpay for Dak. And I think that could be the demise of our team if we overpay the quarter. Not that he doesn't deserve money, not that he doesn't deserve a healthy contract, but we can't overpay him.
Exactly. Not no 40.
40 is about 10 too many. And 10 is 2 other players. If we're talking about on a yearly salary basis.
That's another Zeke.
Right? So you know what I'm saying? That $10 million right there, that's the difference between us losing Van Der Esch later, or us losing Byron Jones, or us losing Leo Collins, or whoever else got to go. So I want them all back, and I think Jerry wants them all back, but at the right dollar.
Exactly. So what do you think? So I'm not privy to the situation at hand. Who was coming up first on defense? Was Jalen first?
Jalen, he would have been a restricted free agent after this year.
Okay, all right. I was making sure it wasn't logical. It wasn't like something conniving, like, he's doing this man up next, but you gave him because he fits exactly the Todd Gurley contract. So
Byron's this year too.
Okay.
Jones is up too.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This year.
I said, blessing and a curse, man. Y'all drafted really, really well, man. It's tough.
And we blew our opportunities. We should have already.
Stay with Tony Romo, right?
Well, I'm not gonna get into that. But we should have already won our championship with the youth, because now we're coming into a situation where we're about to lose most of our talent, kind of like Seattle. But the difference between us and Seattle got the chip. And they had an opportunity to get 2.
Exactly.
But they blew it.
Yeah, got one call.
Right. So we got to see what happens. I think we're in good position, but they're also in good position to blow it. Like if they pay Zeke too much, I love Zeke, bro. But if they pay him too much money to where it's canceling out other players, or to where now Amari got to take a lesser deal. Exactly. Amari, that's the one ain't nobody talking about, but we saw Amari's value. Like we know Zeke's value because we guessed it. We can guess Dak's value, but we saw Amari. Like we were on the path of another losing season, and then they brought in Amari. We lost to Tennessee because he didn't know the plays, and then from there we was rolling.
And then Michael Thomas got signed for $100 million.
$100
that goes to show. And then he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. Amari's a 3-time Pro Bowler. So what's up? Amari in their face like. Right. Hey, I'm waiting for Zeke to get out of line, but I'm coming up next now. Yes, and guess what? It's going to be 2019, 2020 when I come. So guess what? The value of the dollar going to be a little bit more, and the salary cap going to be a little bit higher. So I want more of that. What's up?
Let me ask y'all this:
He's that kind of guy. Everybody's that type of guy with money's involved.
Get your money.
Especially
football.
So is Zeke going to miss regular season games?
I told you in the beginning that I can see this stretching 1 to 2 games, and I told you that in the beginning from Jump Street, this could stretch 1 or 2 games.
I didn't at first, but
neither did I. I'm strongly leaning towards. I think it's gonna miss.
It's getting ugly, man. And the fact that Jalen Smith got signed today, that makes it 10 times uglier. Because could you imagine? Well, no matter what Zeke's doing, you know he kicking back, and this man's kicking back with his people or whatever, and he like this.
No, but hold on though, because Zeke, I think Zeke would be tripping if he wasn't offered. Zeke was offered a deal that'll put him in top 5. Yeah. So was that. So was Amari. All of them were offered, but he wants more money. Only difference is Jalen saw that top 5. He said, "This knee ain't too. I'm taking it." Yeah, exactly. Like he just didn't negotiate as much.
$30 million guaranteed. You got the same as Antonio Brown.
If they would just, I'm not saying don't get what you're worth. But if Zeke would just take the deal that's offered, or Dak, or even get close to it, you're still top 5. Like, it's not like they're trying to stew you.
Exactly.
Jerry's not trying to stew you.
And you can get endorsements that nobody else can get. You're a black quarterback for the biggest franchise in history.
You already took Cam's damn
I
hate that move, though.
Right. I was like, you can't. You're on like his corner though. Exactly. Like the same commercials is just you instead.
I like chunky soup though. I like chunky soup thing. I'll deal with that.
I hate that it came off the back of Cam, and then the next one is Dak, and they already see Dak as the polished Cam. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
This the one we want.
This the Cam who doesn't run as much.
Right. He answers his questions properly. He doesn't wear all those feathers in his hat. Like he's regular. He's a regular dude, and they like it. They like that.
That's what last year on the show when we were kind of undecided. When we were undecided about
Keely's
Cam,
out.
I just was being immature because we get at each other about our teams. I was like, would you rather have Dak personality or Cam personality? He was like, would you rather have Dak's arm or Cam's arm? I was like, okay,
right,
all right. I mean, but
let me ask you this: let's say Zeke is out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the first 2 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play out the season with Zeke's out the first 2 games and he comes back and plays.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Zeke signs tomorrow and he comes in place. How do y'all see the differences in the two seasons playing out? Or is there any?
Say that one more time. You say Zeke comes.
Is Zeke
today?
Signs tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
and he's there for the whole season, or he misses a couple games
Mm-hmm.
and then plays out the season. How do y'all see the differences in the 2 seasons, or will there be a difference in the season?
Well, I think we got a little bit lucky, the Cowboys, because our first 2 games are the Giants and Washington.
But we can't stop that run. We gonna be.
By the way, Washington named Case Keenum their starter today.
We should be able to beat both of them without Zeke. So starting out 2-0 would be a little bit deceiving. That'll be Tony Pollard's doing great. We don't need Zeke, but I think it would be more about competition.
Zeke was so disrespectful.
But on the other note, if Zeke does miss a couple of games, we saw him miss 6 and come in second in rushing. So in regards to productivity, if he does miss a couple, him coming back, we're going to be a better team. That's what Zeke does. Exactly. So we'll be okay, but I don't want him to miss no time.
Oh no, most definitely not. Most definitely not. I mean, he's necessary. I mean, we traded up to get him. Like, come on, like he's what makes Ramsey. Yeah, he's just what makes it run. Like he's what makes it run. So, I mean, hey. Come back, man. Come back home. Come back home.
Come on, Zeke. Get your money. Sign that paper, bro.
Come on home. If you see this, man, just get your money, man. You can come on the show and we give you
come on the show, right.
Give y'all $5 out.
Give y'all the business, you know what I mean?
$5 out. Yeah, man. But shoot. Do we have anything else for the boys, for the ladies? Anything else?
All right, we're gonna end on this topic here, fellas. Mm-hmm. Much has been made about preseason, right? Do you think the league has an issue with their preseason currently? It seems like there's a lot of star players that's not participating anymore, not playing. What do you do? You think they should cut out the games? Do you think preseason games should be made free? Like, do you think any changes should happen to the preseason?
I believe that you should keep it the same way just because of... I mean, people aren't playing, so I guess... I was going to say just because of record purposes, you want to keep everything the same, just like the 16, 17 games. You want to keep keep it the same. But however, people aren't playing. It's just for tryouts. Just for by the third quarter, I'm not even watching it. Not even my team. Like my team, that's the only team I'll watch. You know what I mean? Throughout the preseason, like I would not watch Kyler Murray through the Cardinals through the third quarter. You know what I mean? Kyler Murray's out.
Right.
Okay. All right. Watch Family Guy or something. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So, with that being said, I'm just talking. I don't even know.
What I would recommend doing, and something that I heard, I would recommend cutting a couple weeks of the preseason games, and I like the possibility of adding more like playoff teams, right? So essentially, you get an extra week of playoff action, which cuts off the week of revenue that the league loses from preseason games.
True.
Add
but
another team.
You know what they charge for preseason games, right? $4 to $10 for preseason game tickets. The average, regular seats, $4 to $10. That's it.
Well,
it's pretty darn low.
Yeah, but it's low. But a lot of people don't like the preseason.
Yeah.
But
so let's get rid of it.
But the key about it is if you get rid of it, you have the owners want their money. So you have to make up the revenue. That's why I say cut the preseason. You add another week of playoffs, right? Add teams to the playoffs, and then you get the playoff revenue stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
I get that. I get that from an owner's perspective because you get your money back. But for me, just as a fan, I think the NFL has the perfect amount of playoff teams. Like, I think the NBA has too many. Once you start getting to about 50% of the league making the playoffs,
it's over 50%.
That's too many people.
Yeah, it is.
And once we're already at 12, so once we add 2, we get to 20, we get to 14.
Mm-hmm.
So we're a little bit lower than 50%.
Yeah.
And I that's a little too high for my liking.
Okay. That'll work. You know.
Let's go. So, anything else that we need?
That's it.
All right, Brandon Busby, Champions Fate,
jerseys.
And as well, for the record, because I had a few people on my page and elsewhere just looking for jerseys, $65 any jersey, as well as I got my LeBron pants. So, hey, everything's there. All right. So we're gonna see y'all next week. We're gonna have. Please get your money in. Due date's the 31st, but we would love to have your money in sooner than that. And we're good. That's about it. But I would love to have Ludacris take us out. I would love it.
Take us out?
Yeah.
Write it on out.
That ain't working. That's whatever.
We out.
We out? We just out? Just no music? No music?
Yeah.
No music. No music. No music.
Your best T-Rex, I'm running through it.